comes to mind when you think of the word yoga? Maybe Surya Namaskar or Pranayam, or actually there are so many different verticals and so many different asanas and pranayams that people can get into and you can get into, and I'm no expert, but today we're going to be talking about yoga and I'm going to invite an expert into our space. So welcome Mind Your Health, Staying Well with RJ Keisha.
Take a deep breath for this one. And I mean it. We have with us somebody who's been taking people on a journey of relieving stress, of getting into a better space mentally and physically. Her name is Divya Naithani, and she, for the last 15 years, has been a personal counselor and a yoga teacher. She's been making sure that everybody from actors and dancers to corporate honchos to housewives to children get into a space of enjoying yoga. And today she's going to join us in Mind Your Health, Staying Well with RJ Keisha. Welcome, Divya Naithani. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much, Keisha.
So if you can give us those so to say, in our muthi wala kind of takeaways.
Okay, so in our muthi matlab we're talking about 5, right?
Yes,
So
sure.
yes. Okay. I have noticed over the years people think yoga they only talk about the body, or people go straight to meditation and things like that, or people want to learn pranayams, like the traditional pranayams and all that stuff. I suggest we at least start with becoming aware of how we are breathing. So first point that I want to talk about that we need to check on a regular basis is, and you'll be surprised to know this one, whether there is any sound when we breathe. If your breath is audible, it's not a good indicator of your health. You need to check one nostril at a time. There will always be one of your nostrils which is dominant at any given point of time. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a kind of a block. Yeah. There's a difference between a passive breath through a nostril and a blocked nostril. Sound of your breath obviously means that either something in your respiratory system is not okay. You could be an overweight person. There's a lot of pressure on your lungs and heart while you're breathing. So the first and most important body organ that we need to look at is our lungs and the respiratory system in general. So I need everyone to, on a daily basis, check if both your nostrils are functioning fine. If not, there'll be only 2 possibilities, yes or no. So if yes, please make sure that this is going on. If not, the other option, of course, is that the nostrils are not functioning proper. Then what are we going to do about it? So in that case, first thing first, and simplest and easiest, which requires no training, is your simple steam inhalation. Please add nothing to the water. Just boil that water, inhale steam. That should help you clear out your nostrils. That's one. Once you get your clear nostrils, then I'm coming to prevention. What can we do to make sure that your nostrils remain unblocked? And for that, the simplest and most effective yoga technique to follow is Jalneti. Jalneti followed by some massages to make sure that all the water that you took into your nostrils is thrown out, and quick, forceful breaths. Even if you're not doing Kapalabhati, just to ensure that you're blowing out properly and it's absolutely clear. People often think that to be able to do Jalneti, you need a certain pot and this and that and all that. None of this is required. Just lukewarm water, some salt, clean water, clean salt mixed together. Basically, the Jalneti water should taste like our tears, slightly warm, slightly salted. That's the consistency. So you just rinse your hands, wash your hands properly with regular tap water. Do not wipe. And then with wet hands, You take some warm salted water in one palm, block the other side, take it in, spit it out. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So that's your Jalneti. After that, just blow out, massage these areas so you're providing some warmth.
Wow.
So that's going to be at point 1.
Okay, so point 1. Great.
Yeah. We come to point 2 again, which I said is going to be related to breathing. It's really funny that we don't think of our breath unless we are just not able to breathe. Simply put, if this is our rib cage and the lungs are within, for lungs to expand completely, they need space on the sides and even below. And if you see a little baby sleeping, that's the best example I can give. If you see a little baby sleeping, you will notice how their stomach goes up and down with every breath. Yeah. So that is how we also used to be once upon a time. So I would like each one of us to check, and this is going to be very simple. We just place our palm on our stomach. First, exhale completely. And then you can close your eyes for better concentration. Just inhale, inhale, inhale. And as you inhale, make sure your stomach is coming out. And then just exhale. Perfect. You did it very well.
So this would be the second point?
Yes, it's the second point. This technique is a very simple technique called abdominal breathing, named after the founder of our yoga institute, Sri Yogendra Ji. So it's also called Yogendra Pranayam. So abdominal breathing is going to ensure that your lungs are really expanding fully. If while inhaling, if your stomach is not coming out, it surely means that you have not filled up the lungs completely. You will be able to feel this movement even better, more freely if you are lying down flat on your back and if you bend your legs. Then you'll be able, and then you place your palm on your navel region. You will feel your stomach going out with every inhalation, in with every exhalation. Breathe bilkul comfortably as possible. No jerky movements, no fast movements. It's a very calming down technique and very, very helpful. When we practice this regularly, we will obviously reach a stage where we'll be able to do this irrespective. We'll be able to breathe through our abdominal muscles, irrespective of what we are doing, standing, sitting, walking around, doing any activity, so on and so forth. So that's our point 2.
You're making me conscious right now when I am thinking, I should do this constantly. So thank you. Point number 2. Let's move to point number 3.
Point number 3 is more about the entire body. It's a very interesting way of checking the fitness of our overall health of our body, that we should be able to touch every part of our body, ideally. Whether we're talking about our hands touching each other when you take our hands behind, one arm from top and one from below. Yeah.
Okay.
We could try that. We could try doing a namaste behind.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yes, just about.
Yeah.
Or a namaste at the back.
Yes. Or when you're standing upright with legs straight, we try and touch the toes by bending forward. That is one thing. Straight legs, very important to remember. Then if you can touch your toes, then I would say, then the next step would be to challenge yourself. You have to get your palms on the floor. Then you try and get your forehead to the knees. Like this, you can keep challenging yourself. One more position that I would suggest is try to get your thighs to your chest. So ideally, you should be able to hold your elbows. Now, I see that many people struggle to even bring their thighs to chest. So at least start with pulling your thighs, then you try and hold your shins, then you try and touch your hands, then you try and hold your wrists. Like this, we continue, and eventually we should be able to hold our elbows. Okay?
Now let's move forward, because I think we are hoping to kind of get that whole mutti in place. So point number 4 would be?
Point number 4 is more about how we are feeling. Now we come to emotions. And when we're talking about emotions, I'll go to the most common definition that I use in my stress management programs. If you're not happy, you're under stress. So at all given points of time, we must check, are we really happy, comfortable, peaceful? The moment we suddenly see an unexpected situation, what is our response? Do we get irritated? Do we get angry? Do we get anxious? Do we feel, okay, just one deep breath, okay, let me see what can I do about this? What is our response, our immediate response? Most people tend to get angry, irritated, they start shouting, why are you doing this? How can you do this? How am I going to deal with this? And these are common responses. The point is that we are not ready for it. It has come unexpected. Ideally, we shouldn't be getting to that space. So we need to check ourselves. Are we peaceful? Are we comfortable? Only then we can look for a solution rather than
Right.
getting so hassled with any problem. So number 4 was about our feelings.
And final one is where we're.
And final one is my favorite, so I saved it for last. So Keisha, tell me one person that you love the most, you care for the most in this entire world.
My daughter.
I was expecting that answer. I knew that. Yeah. So would you ever, consciously, knowingly, would you ever do anything to her that you know is not good for her? Would you ever do anything like that to her?
No, not at
Never.
all.
Never. You wouldn't even think about it, right? You can't even imagine that you would do something like that.
True.
And yet, every single day, day in, day out, we keep doing something or the other that is harmful to our own selves. This includes eating or drinking things that are not good for our body, thinking thoughts that are not good for our mind, being in company of people that are not good for our own positivity, being in an environment that's not good for our lungs. So I want all of us to think, do you really care for yourself? Do you really love yourself? If yes, why do you do things that are not good for you?
Yes. And so you create your own package of things that are good for you or not. And then be aware of what you're kind of absorbing into your life. So yes, you've got your mutti, you've got your jalneti, your abdominal breath, you've got your
Positions.
positions, your
Check.
body, yes, your
Touching the
emotions,
entire body.
and you love your body, and then to hold it all together, discipline. Thank you so much, Divya Naithani. Chatting with you, learning from you, and being able to share your magic. Thank you so much. I'm so glad, and I know for a fact that if people watch right now, they'll know that you've got sunshine around you, and I've got close to the night sky because you're in Germany, and I know you've taken time out to join us all the way from Germany and share your message on Mind Your Health, Staying Well with RJ Keisha.
Wonderful. Health in your hands. Sounds amazing, right? Especially the emotional bit where it says, you can't be happy if you've got negative thoughts. So get back your power. Don't leave your power in other people's hands. Don't blame them and say that they're the reason for your happiness amongst everything else. So you stay really healthy, you stay really well. And of course, like, share, comment. Make sure that you spread the word. This is the good news, isn't it? Thank you for joining us. Mind your health. Staying well with RJ Keisha.